The mystery is on. Put your detective gear on and get ready for a psychological thriller. This episode hammers down why ReZero is the best when it comes to psychological horror. This whole episode, so unsettling, so creepy, and although we know what's going on behind the scenes, watching the group struggle and come to their own conclusions and watching Subaru try to dodge around the elephant in the room, absolute peak. I cannot believe it. Guys, they do this every week. I have to stop. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. You guys must be tired of hearing me say ReZero is peak, ReZero is cinema. But guys, it just genuinely hits that spot. So good. I don't know any other series that can pull everything that these guys just pulled off. Okay? Absolute insanity. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Today, we are talking Peak Zero, Season 4, Episode 10. Guys, let's jump right into it. They start this episode right where we left off last episode with Subaru looking down at his arm and seeing Subaru Natsuki was here. And he doesn't take it well, to put it lightly. My guy starts crashing out, okay? He is freaking out. He's like, holy shit, my body was taken over. He's like, this wasn't here before. Who are you? Who am I? Right? He is just going insane, and you can't blame the guy. You can't blame him. Nubaru, he's playing the game on super max difficulty mode. This is like nightmare difficulty for Subaru, okay? Like, 1 minute he's having a conversation, next minute she's dead. Next minute, he did it. It's like one thing after the other. Give the guy a break. Oh my goodness. But Subaru, he gets himself together. He's like, all right, we gotta hide the body, do something, right? So he puts Millie's body in a little corner, right, under a little desk, and he runs out. And as he's running out, he runs into Amelia. And they have such a nice scene together, you know? And Amelia is essentially telling Subaru, like, you don't have to do this alone. And this is already a lesson that Subaru's learned in season 2, right? With the whole witch trials and everything. He had to learn to rely on people. That was his whole thing with Otto, right? Garfield. Again, it's so interesting because take that away, take all those experiences away, and who are you, right? You're a completely different person. This isn't Subaru. This is Nubaru. Right? This is not the same person at all, right? So he still has all those lessons he learned unlearned. He needs to go back and learn those lessons real quick because, buddy, this is not the place. This is not the place. The paranoia for Subaru is at an all-time high. All-time high. Not to mention, guys, don't forget that he just pushed down the stairs twice. He has no idea who he can trust. If he can trust anybody, you know, for all he knows, they're just lying to him and playing a big game with him to lure him into some trap. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't have the slightest clue. He doesn't know all the pain and suffering that he and Amelia went through. He doesn't know what Beatrice went through. They're just randoms to him. It's so sad, you know, like the paranoia, all-time high. But just as Amelia's about to break Subaru and he's about to open up to her, Ram interrupts the conversation. And this is when the episode starts to get tense, right? So Ram brings them to the library, and this is where Beatrice is waiting. And she's waiting with some horrible news because, guys, Maylee's Book of the Dead just appeared in the library. And they're all tripped out, right? They're asking, like, how did this get here? If that's here, there's only one explanation. That means she's dead, but she was in the tower. So what happened, right? They asked Shala if she saw anything. And she's like, nope, I didn't see anything. Number 2 is gone. honestly, Shala has a completely nonchalant attitude towards it. She could not give a flying fuck, okay? She does not give a shit about anybody in that tower except for Subaru, except for her master. That's the only person she cares about. If your name is not Subaru, okay, you can go kick rocks for all Shala cares, all right? She don't give a fuck. It's insane. Subaru even says, like, bruv, like, you're talking a little bit crass for somebody that's like apparently dead. You know, Shala's like, oh well, you know? I'm like, damn, this girl cold as hell, bruv. Cold. But they start discussing, and Subaru, he volunteers to read the Book of the Dead. Again, the guy is on the back burner the entire episode, okay? It is actually crazy. He's got to do all this loop jumping and rope jumping to, like, make himself seem normal, because if you guys remember, he didn't tell the group that he has amnesia. So he's just been walking around trying to be undercover, right? Nobody knows. So on top of that, now he has to maneuver around the whole Melee situation, right? Which is even worse, because you don't even know anything. So now, on top of not knowing anything, how are you even going to come up with a viable excuse? You don't know shit. Nightmare difficulty mode. It's crazy work, right? But Subaru jumps into Meile's book, and we see Meile's backstory, and essentially it's the backstory that she told us, right? She told us that her parents just ditched her, and she was raised by mobbies. And guys, she was literally raised by mobbies. Like, she was like moving like a wolf for like the first like 10 years of her life, right? Like literally four paws running on the ground, eating the raw meat. I was like, damn, like she was super living it, super. And this is when we see a little bit of Elsa, and I'm so glad that we got a little bit of Elsa, bruv. They gave us a little, you know, something for the mandem, and I was like, yo. God bless whoever animated this episode, because that was just gold, all right? Thank you for that. Elsa is like top 3. We all know this, okay? And by top 3, I just mean top 3 baddest, all right? And, you know, they definitely delivered. That's all I got to say. So my heart goes out to you. Thank you. W's. Anyway, you know, Elsa, she adopts Melee pretty much, and we see that Melee, she pretty much was raised by Elsa and the Sin Archbishop of Lust, Capella, right? And she just had a tough life, right? She was sent on missions, killing bear people, this and that. She basically doesn't even have like actual emotions. Like, she doesn't understand genuine emotion, you know? Like, she never really formed like a human connection with anybody, right? So this whole like connecting and bonds thing, completely foreign to her, right? And then we see Subaru in the backstory, and it's very interesting, right? We see an instance of Subaru coming to her in the dungeon, right? And it's like, now that Elsa's gone, Melee needs somebody new to look up to. So who's she gonna look up to? And this is when Subaru walks in, and it's like, okay, maybe Subaru could be that person, right? Then we get another scene, and this takes place just before Subaru lost his memories the first time, okay? So Subaru's in the library, and he runs into Melee, right? And when Melee sees him, she runs out of the library. Scene switch. The next scene we see, Melee, she's walking up behind Subaru in the library, and Subaru, he sounds weird, looks weird, and most of all, he's moving weird, okay? Head right behind the head, all types of weird contraptions that we've seen before. If you know, you know, right? But it's clearly obvious that this isn't Subaru, okay? This isn't Subaru, this isn't Nubru, this is something completely else. Any thoughts? Guys, if you know, don't spoil it in the comments, all right? Guys, all my anime only watchers, drop down Who do you think it is? Okay, it's not old Subaru, it's not new brew. Who could it be? Who could it be? But Subaru, he witnesses all of this, right? And then the last scene, we see Meili, and this is where we see Meili asking him that question, and we see the aftermath of the question. So when she asked Subaru, how serious about what you told me the other day, Subaru just flips a switch, and he says, we can talk about this here, right? He brings her away, and he pretty much just like kills her, right? And it's very important too. We see that what Subaru told Meili was to follow her desires. Do what she wants to do, okay? Don't worry about anything. Just do what you want to do. And we all know Meili is a literal assassin, bruv. Raised by Lust and Elsa. So what do you think she wants to do? She probably just wants to kill. And don't forget, Subaru is the reason Elsa is dead. So maybe Meili harbors some grudge towards Subaru? There is that to think of, you know? And technically, Meili is just a prisoner. It's not even like Meili is like part of the camp. She's literally just a prisoner in the basement cell. The only reason she's here is because they needed her to cross the dunes. That's it. She's a prisoner of war, bruv. Don't forget, like, not exactly an ally, you know what I mean? But Subaru, as we see, clearly possessed by somebody, something, who knows? And he literally kills her, right? And I don't know what's going on. I've seen some discourse online that people are trying to like cancel ReZero or some shit. Bro, it's a fucking story. Okay, it's meant to make you uncomfortable. Okay, if you're not like a little uncomfortable watching some of these scenes, yeah, you're a little fucked up. That's the point of the story. Please, it's a fictional story. Some of y'all need to chill, man. For real, always taking it too far. And now y'all trying to cancel Peak? Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Anyway, after we see Meili's death, Subaru wakes up and oh my god. Guys, when I say freaking out, I mean freaking out. Remember, he's never had he went into a book of the dead already, but wiped his memories. So he hasn't experienced this before, right? So he comes out and he's so confused, he doesn't even know if he's Subaru. He's like, am I Subaru? Am I back? And the biggest side effect of reading Meili's book is that now he's seen Meili as a hallucination. And Meili, she is fucked, okay? She just keeps whispering in his ear and he's like crashing out every 2 seconds. People be talking to him and in the middle of the talk, he'd be like, stop! Stop, get away! And they're like, bro, like, are you good? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. Like, bro, Subaru, you're clearly not good, you know? They start asking questions about the book. What happened? Did you see Meili's death? Blah, blah, blah. All Subaru can do is muster up some half-assed lie about how, oh, I didn't exactly see the end, but it happened in the tower somewhere. And this is when they start to search, right? What else are you gonna do? Subaru said it happened in the tower, so all that's left to do is search the tower and see if we can find anything. So the whole group goes off, and obviously they don't find anything, right? Amelia even says she went up to Reed and asked Reed if he seen Meili, right? And Betty and Subaru, they're pretty much just like alone at this point, right? And Shala, she asked Subaru like, what do you want me to do? But take this in mind, guys, because the way Shala's moving, it's like she knows what Subaru did. She just doesn't give a fuck. Like, she doesn't care. Because Subaru tells her, go search for Shala. And she comes in close and she's like, it's okay, like, I get it. Gives him the winky wink and goes away. So remember, technically she is the guardian of the watchtower. So I'm sure that everything that goes on, like, she has a pretty good idea of what's going on in that tower. I'd be very surprised if Shala actually, like, doesn't know where Mei Lee is, you know? Because, oh, well, we'll get to that at the end, because the end is a doozy, right? But after that interaction with Shala, Subaru, he's even more confused, right? He doesn't know who he can trust. He's like, why do these people love me so much? Like, according to, okay, based on his diagnosis, Subaru Natsuki is a literal fucking murderer, okay? The Subaru Natsuki they all love and adore is a fucking child murderer. He literally just killed Mei Lee. And he's so confused now because he's like, that's the Subaru that these people love. What the fuck is wrong with them? What's wrong with me? You know? Like, the paranoia, again, all-time high. Like, the guy literally has no idea what is going on. Left, right, up and down. Everything's backwards. Everything is upside down. He's like, bro, like, it is insane. So, Betty, she takes Subaru to that healing room, right? And essentially, right, they're just having a talk, and Betty kind of picks up on the fact that Subaru's asking random questions, you know? Remember, didn't tell him he has amnesia, but people are starting to pick up on that because why are you asking all these kinds of questions? Like, you're asking, like, how do we know each other, or how we can do that? And there's a really interesting moment where Betty, she notices the marks on Subaru's head, right? And Mei Lee, the hallucination of her, is going insane in Subaru's mind. She's telling Subaru, kill her, kill Betty, you know? And she actually plants the idea in Subaru's head, kill Betty so he can read her Book of the Dead, right? And when Betty sees his hand, she starts walking up and she's like, oh my God, like, I can't believe it, right? And it looks like Subaru's about to do it for a second, but Betty just says Subaru has a bad habit of, like, cutting himself, harming himself type shit. You know what I mean? So she just heals him and lets it go, right? So crazy. And this is when Mei Lee tells Subaru that murder is a habit, you know? And that one really sticks with him. Mei Lee is just fucking with Subaru this entire episode, and she's not even alive. It's so crazy. But the group, they convene to talk about Mei Lee's whereabouts, you know? They didn't find her. Let's call it a day. Let's pick it back up tomorrow. And the whole time, I'm just wondering, I'm like, when is Subaru gonna reset? Because he obviously needs to reset. He's not just gonna leave Mei Lee dead. You know what I mean? And he doesn't know how long, like, it lasts or how long the checkpoint is. Like, he doesn't know none of that. So if I was him, I would just go jump down the stairs and restart it up, bro. You know? But this is when we get the final scene. And the cliffhanger is crazy, guys. So Subaru, he wakes up in the healing room and, you know, he sneaks away to go move Mei Lee's body. He gets to the room and Mei Lee's body is gone, okay? A, that's number one. B, Ram comes out of nowhere and she confronts him and she's like, who the fuck are you, fake ass Subaru? I know it's not you. Like, you're walking around, but I know it's not you. You think nobody would notice. And this is when the episode just ends with, like, Subaru balling up his fist like he's about to go square up with Ram or something. And I'm like, ooh, murder is a habit. Murder is a habit. You already done Mei Lee in. Why not just do Ram in? It's insanity, bruv. Insanity. And where is Mei Lee's body? Who took it? Obviously Shala, right? But where did she take it though? That's the question. Yo, the mystery of Arc 6 is insane, you know? Having you, like, question and wonder, is it Subaru? Is it not Subaru? What is actually going on? This tower is such a mind fuck for everybody in that tower. It's actually ridiculous. I feel so bad for these guys. They're just trying to figure it out, take the test, save Rem, you know? Like, that's literally all they're trying to do. And they are just being impeded step by step, okay? Then again, Subaru hasn't made it any easier. Nobody told you to give yourself amnesia, bro. And now, on top of having amnesia, you're like fucking possessed or something. Like, bro, get it together, man. Guys, I hope you are enjoying the season as much as I am enjoying the season. Ever since Subaru lost his memories, every episode has just been a straight banger. They were banging before, but this is the real meat and potatoes of Arc 6, guys. And even though, like, you know, I know how it's gonna turn out, I'm still loving to just watch the mystery unfold and to see it with your eyes. What a time to be alive, guys. If you made it this far, guys, hit that subscribe button. We're here every Thursday. You know what it is. We love ReZero. We breaking it down, baby. ReZero videos for days, okay? Hit that comment button, guys. What are you loving most about that season? Anime onlys. Who do you think is in control of Subaru? Or do you think it's Subaru himself? Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. You guys know I'm going to respond to everything. Thank y'all so much. And if you need something to watch, you can watch my Invincible review right here. We discussed the good, the bad, and the PNGs. Give it a watch if you fuck with me. But, guys, I appreciate you watching. And you know I will be back with another one.